From the actor making a viral Instagram post calling him out, to only returning to the franchise after seeing a cut of the latest film, here are all the reasons why Vin Diesel hates The Rock. For starters, there's the post that started it all. While I'm sure sparks were going off between the two on the set of the Fast and the Furious series, it wasn't until Johnson took to Instagram in August 2016 that really lit the fire of hatred between the two co-stars. And I mean, I kinda get why Vin may have been pissed after hearing what Dwayne had to say. The dude straight up called out Diesel, though he didn't directly mention his name. Instead, The Rock simply said while some of his male co-stars conduct themselves like stand-up men and true professionals, there are a couple that don't. And hint hint, he was slyly referring to Vin here. It didn't end here though, because the actor went a bit further than that and straight up said that the ones that aren't professional are a bit too chicken shit to do anything about it anyway. And then called them candy asses. Sheesh, he must have been in a bad mood that day. Johnson ended the post by saying that if fans notice him appearing angry in The Fate of the Furious, it's probably because his blood was legit boiling while filming some of the shots. Yikes! Now imagine you're in Vin's position and you just found out that your co-star basically called you a candy ass online in front of millions of fans. He probably started hating Dwayne's guts after that, especially because he felt like Johnson wasn't portraying the situation truthfully. After filming for the movie wrapped in August 2016, Vin was asked just what his thoughts were on the whole drama. And well, the actor said that he needed a second, but he was going to reveal everything. Though it seems that Diesel, despite having a good reason not to like The Rock by this point, tried to smooth things over with the star. While talking to USA Today after the release of The Fate of the Furious, he said that the media and fans kind of blew the whole situation out of proportion. Vin added that Dwayne and he are actually a lot closer than people think, and that he's still referred to as Uncle Dwayne in Diesel's house. The actor said that he kind of sees himself as the punching bag for the franchise, someone who takes hits for the sake of it succeeding, and he mentioned that he's taken a few hits even for Dwayne's sake, even if he may not know it. Because at the end of the day, he's only got one brother in this film world, and in Vin's eyes, that's him. He definitely pulled on all those heartstrings, trying to mend things over with Dwayne. And honestly, for a while it seemed like the two were on good terms, though there were definitely still issues lingering beneath the surface. For one, when the film released, fans couldn't help but notice the two didn't share any scenes. Like, they weren't on the screen together for a single second. That couldn't have been a coincidence, right? But to make matters worse, in June 2021, Vin said that the Hobbs character required tough love on his part to get the performance where it needed to be. Johnson apparently wasn't too happy with this statement and mentioned that he basically laughed and laughed hard at what Vin said. It doesn't seem like Johnson thinks Diesel had any part in nurturing his performance as Hobbs on the series. And it was around this time when Johnson sort of said goodbye to the Fast and Furious series too. He didn't appear in 2021's Fast 9, and there were already rumors swirling that he'd called it quits. But eventually, the star came clean and confirmed it. While Dwayne mentioned that he wishes the team the best of luck for all their future films in the series, he personally wasn't going to be a part of them. Now, if you take away all the flowery words here, it does seem like the two have a huge hate streak still going on by this point, especially when Johnson felt like Vin was taking credit for his performance. And Diesel, well, he may have just been trying to talk about how he cares for the franchise in general. But Dwayne, needing to be special, gave Vin yet another reason to hate him. But despite all this drama, Diesel made one final push to get Johnson on his side. It seems like the guy really doesn't want to give up on Dwayne, even though Johnson doesn't look like he wants anything to do with the franchise or Diesel for that matter. Taking to Instagram in November 2021, Vin said that the time has come as the world awaits the finale of the Fast and Furious series. The actor mentioned the whole thing about his children calling The Rock Uncle Dwayne again, and also brought up Paul Walker. It definitely felt like Diesel was willing to let all bygones be bygones and wanted to start fresh with Dwayne, probably in the hopes of delivering a proper conclusion to the franchise that fans could actually enjoy, especially because he thought Hobbs had a very important role to play in the franchise's conclusion. Say what you will about Vin, it's clear that the guy doesn't shy away from speaking his mind. And even if he's got to be the bigger man for the success of the franchise, he's willing to do it. But Dwayne, on the other hand, Well, he didn't exactly take too kindly to this whole message. In fact, the star mentioned that he found it all a bit too manipulative. Johnson said that he didn't like that Diesel felt the need to bring up his own children in the post. The Rock wanted to leave them out of it, especially because the two co-stars had already discussed everything a couple of months ago and seemingly reached a proper understanding. He wanted to leave the series with grace and felt that he'd already done it. So suddenly being surprised by Vin like this, especially on a social media post, was kinda weird, to say the least. Johnson seemingly made his intent about not returning to the franchise clear a bunch of times, but according to him, Vin just doesn't take no for an answer. Now, I don't know about you, but this would definitely cause me to hate Dwayne if I was in Vin's position. I mean, this is a guy that Diesel has been trying so hard to bring back, and it's not just because he wants to end the franchise properly. Because let's face it, they could have probably come up with a way to make a proper conclusion, which didn't involve Hobbs. But the more important thing to him was keeping Dwayne close, because Vin thinks of Johnson as his small brother. I'm guessing in terms of age because, let's face it, Johnson is like twice the size of Vin. But even despite these appeals for brotherhood, The Rock has consistently rejected Vin. It does kind of feel like all of Vin's statements have come from a place of love and compassion. Though he may not have always used his words wisely, it's clear that he does care about Dwayne. But Johnson, in return, has always felt manipulated by him and seemingly wanted nothing to do with the franchise, despite Vin's constant requests. Even when Diesel made a heartfelt post on social media, Johnson put it to the side, saying that he already made up his mind. Though something definitely must have changed, because, spoiler alert, the star made a shocking return in Fast X. Yup. Hobbs returns in the post-credits scene, which makes me think Dwayne is going to be a lot more involved in the franchise's final installments. Now, while Vin may still absolutely hate the guy, after how he responded to all his requests to return, director Louis Leterrier told The Hollywood Reporter that they sort of brokered a peace treaty between the two. To convince Dwayne and his team, Louis knew that he had to first make it clear to them that the movie itself was good. The director knew that if The Rock loved the film, he'd jump right on board for the climax. And well, they showed the whole thing to the star, and he agreed. It was seemingly pretty smooth, which is kinda weird to me, considering how adamant Dwayne was about not coming back before. Diesel, being the symbol of love and family as always, said that he's gonna lead with love. Vin added that they've got a great cast, and he wants to create an environment where everyone does their best. So while he may still hate Johnson deep down, for now, the two may actually be on good terms on the surface. There you have it. From Johnson only returning to the franchise after seeing a cut of the latest film, to Dwayne making a viral Instagram post calling him out, here were all the reasons why Vin Diesel hates The Rock.